Mr. Mahad Ahmed, Managing Director, Trade, Mr. Nicholas Sherry, Chair, Independent Director, TWU, Super Australia, Excellency Dr. Siti Toute, President, Arab Bank for Economic Development in Africa, Badia, represented today by Mr. Maurice Info, Mrs. Reka Emango, Deputy Governor, Administration Bank of Zambia, members of the Diplomatic Corps, delegates, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon. The 7th edition of the Pension Funds and Alternative Investment Africa Conference, PIAFRICA 2024, draws to an end. And it gives me great pleasure to be here with you to share my reflections. First and foremost, I would like to express my appreciation to the speakers and panelists for their valuable contribution for the last 2 days. I understand that you have provided insights on crucial topics such as pension funds, diversification, regulatory compliance, impact investing, and governance framework, amongst others. Your presence and participation show your strong commitment to pave the way for a resilient and prosperous future in pension fund management and alternative investments. The alternative fund industry has experienced global turmoil, and this includes ongoing repercussions of the COVID-19 pandemic, instability caused by Ukraine-Russia war, market volatility, and central banks' action to avoid the threat of recession. Fund managers have altered their portfolio. How? By scaling the product weights in areas such as illiquid credit, real estate, private equity, pension funds, venture capital, and opportunistic or special situations. Many of the largest investors are public pensions, endowments, and foundations. They have their own environmental and socially responsible commitment to fulfill. There is also an overall consensus that more emphasis needs to be laid on sustainable and impact investment programs. There are, however, various viewpoints as to what would be the best pathway to adopt such practices. This is because there are growing external risks, such as climate change and food insecurity. Many countries of the world are faced with an aging population and fewer working population to support addition of more retirees. Mauritius, with regard to its retirement system, faces the same challenges. Pension funds are suffering from widening deficits. This is a result of increased longevity risk as well as lower returns from the volatile performance of traditional asset classes such as equity, fixed income, real estate, and cash equivalents. The low interest rate environment that has been prevailing over the years since 2009 has severely impacted the performance of investment funds, insurance funds, and pension funds, amongst others. As we move forward, it has to be ensured that these segments are ready to weather the storms and equally capable to partner in Africa's growth and prosperity. A robust and well-designed financial sector becomes paramount as Africa gears up to harness international resources and foreign investments. And this will not be possible if sustainability is not embedded in this journey. As per the Capital Economics study, which was conducted in 2021, the African continent needs around $350 billion to unlock sustainable projects on the continent. This is the reason for which Mauritius is in the process of creating a dedicated environmental, social, and governance framework for Africa. The framework is designed to be a document for Africa by Africa. In line with Africa's countries' realities, it will also provide comfort to the investors or development finance institutions, DFIs, that the project is being properly monitored. Mauritius, as an IFC, firmly believes that it can help to drive impactful investment into mainland Africa, and therefore require the incorporation of ESG principles in projects. I am hereby referring to projects which can unlock important green funding sources, whilst also contributing to countries' sustainable developments. Many markets around the world are now aligning their business models to the UN Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. Investments are increasingly adopting disclosure guidelines related to SDG issues. To allow the financial services sector to realize its full potential as the engine of inclusive and sustainable economic growth, we should leverage on technology. Over the years, the Mauritius IFC has diversified its core offerings. Our legislative framework has been reviewed. Innovative financial products have been introduced. These new products include the variable capital company license, the virtual asset and initial token offerings license, amongst others. Mauritius IFC has been empowered to emerge as a driving force in the fintech arena and fund management. Other initiatives implemented by government include the revamping of the regulatory sandbox regime, the setting up of a fintech innovation hub and digital lab, whose primary objective is to foster growth of startups, entrepreneurs through enhanced connectivity, testing and value propositions of fintech service providers in cost-effective and scalable ways. Furthermore, Mauritius has been the first country in the world to introduce the digital custodian license, which led to the security token offering. Ladies and gentlemen, Africa's population is set to rise to over 2 billion people by 2050. Consumer spending will reach $2.5 trillion USD by 2030, while business-to-business investments will reach over $3.5 trillion USD in the same period. Naturally, the world is shifting investment focus to Africa to tap into a booming consumer market where investments can find long-term value. With more than 30 years of experience in the financial services sector, Mauritius is a jurisdiction which offers certainty, predictability, stability, and sustainability. Mauritius will certainly continue to play a decisive and impactful role to unlock Africa's multi-billion-dollar investment opportunities. Africa is actually the second largest destination for investment from Mauritius. The investment from Mauritius into Africa, which stands at $82 billion USD, represents 9% of overall foreign investment into the continent. Africa and Mauritius have traditionally enjoyed close cultural, business, and bilateral ties. With its extensive network of global taxation avoidance agreements and investment promotion and protection agreements, as well as with its membership with regional trading blocs like SADC, COMESA, and IORC, Mauritius is very much present on the continent. Mauritius has worked relentlessly towards implementing the recommendations of the Financial Action Task Force in a record time. A It is now seen as a robust jurisdiction with a modern AML-CFT framework, which adheres to the highest standards when compared with other highly developed IFCs. Mauritius has now geared its effort towards sustaining these reforms and ensuring the effectiveness of the measures undertaken with a view to promoting our jurisdiction as a destination of high recruit. We are keen in sharing our experience with other African countries to help them with their journey to implement the FATF recommendations. Conquering risk and seizing opportunities call for collective actions and partnerships. So I really appreciate that PIAFRICA 2024 has been a pivotal role even to foster collaboration and innovation within the pension funds industry. As we draw the curtains on this year's edition, I hope the networking and meaningful discussions you have had pave the way for elaborated strategies to consolidate the sector. Thank you for your attention.
Without further ado, once again, Honourable Minister Sunil Bholah, thank you very much for being here with us. Without our sponsors, which I would like to acknowledge and recognize, African Finance Corporation, BlackRock, eFront, TDB, DBSA, Steward Investments, International Insurance, CNS, Everest, and Finance. Without you guys, we wouldn't have been able to do this program, so we really appreciate your support. So thank you again very much. And if I could just have a big round of applause for you guys. I won't be here for too long, but just by way of a recap, we kicked off the program with a capacity building initiative hosted by BlackRock, which was really very well received, that looked at very pertinent issues that are relevant to the pension fund and some of the asset managers here. For those of you that missed it, please come again next year if BlackRock will be kind enough to run it for us again. But really very important points and feedback for us was really good. By way of sort of acknowledging the various delegations that are here from Africa, I believe we have delegations here present with us from Angola, Cameroon, Cote d'Ivoire, Djibouti, Kenya, Mozambique, Namibia, Malawi, Eswatini, Nigeria, Zambia, Zimbabwe, South Africa. Please forgive me if I left anybody out. From the outset, we set out this program to have three objectives, which is an educational knowledge exchange platform, which I hope that has been to some extent delivered, although it is a continuous effort, to advocate and promote the role of pension funds in advancing the economic development of the continent, while of course showcasing credible alternative investments, proven sustainable returns, and of course also to provide a platform for business developments and for you guys to build meaningful connections. We heard yesterday, which was day one, the geopolitical challenges that's currently facing all of us, specifically, of course, there are some specificity to Africa. But despite that, there is the economic growth anticipated at 4% this year. We then moved on to some of the pension fund reforms that are anticipated across the continent. This was sort of the limitations of offshore allocations, the average, and sort of unpicking that and understanding in reality on the ground. We've touched on the alternatives to provide a broader understanding of the outlook for alternatives in general. We've also looked at some issues around corporate governance and the transformative nature that these pension funds are required to play in these markets. And then, luckily for us today, we were actually joined by the governor of the Central Bank of Mauritius, and he was kind enough to share his time with us and recognize the pressure on pension funds to balance financial returns as well as responsibility to society and broader stakeholders. The sort of technical sessions, we will just pick out some of the highlights. Intervention from PIC on some of the expansion into large infrastructure projects and the challenges and the perception of perceived challenge, actual challenge, and the need for transparency. We also had intervention from the likes of mutual partners that encourage investors to consider private credits and how this plays in the space of missing middle within the banking in the context of very high interest rates. And of course, specialist asset managers like Challenger spoke to the trade finance opportunities and how perhaps this could also play a role. EDB, who are a strategic partner of this program, Economic Development Board of Mauritius, also spoke to the various offering they have, which is specifically different to the various capital structure that is currently being rolled out in Mauritius. Areas of wealth also highlighted the need for experienced fund managers on the continent, and of course, Intel Group spoke to the digital technologies to another ecosystem for pension funds. We were lucky enough to have representatives from BlackRock 11 that spoke to the need for crucial role of digitalization, which is really one of the mega themes and the key item that's coming out from this event, also across the board, data automation and language models. Of course, DDB, long-standing sponsor, spoke to some of the new initiatives they have, such as the green shares, and their brother Shafiq from the pension fund spoke to the need to balance current needs with infrastructure integration, but also incorporating ESG factors into the current evaluations and the need for leadership thinking and policy and so on. And of course, Africa Alliance also made really a specific intervention that defined impact investment and highlighted the importance of meeting both financial and social impact conditions. The previous session, which is fixed income, again spoke to some of the aspects that's happening within fixed income, the need for diversification. And the last session, before we close, spoke to the future alternatives and the need to unpack experts from the school in that session. Again, one of our longest-standing experts that has been familiar with this program. So with that, without further ado, call for action, save the date for next year. We thank you, we appreciate your support, and a quick further thanks to the lovely team that have helped us to deliver this program. I know they're quite embarrassed and a bit shy. Powerful team of women, Cora, Laura, Emma, lovely MC as well. So really thank you so much for your time. I look forward to seeing you again here next year. Bon voyage. Thank you very much.